Hello and welcome to the Team Conti Sim Performance Week 11 track guide with the NASCAR NextGen car at COTA West. This is the first time we have visited this configuration of COTA, so I am going to take you all for a deep dive into this version of the racetrack, go over some differences from the full Grand Prix COTA, and give you the tips and tricks to be able to be successful in this upcoming week. So, as with all of our other road course track guides, we'll focus on dissecting this mainly from outside the car, break it down corner by corner, and then I'll roll that into a full lap at speed from inside and outside the car toward the end of this video. This video is also broken down into segments, so if you want to jump around, you should be able to do that without too much trouble. So without further ado, let's begin. So this is between the final two corners of the track, which are 16 and 17, and this is coming to take the green flag. So I'm not really going to jump into what's happening here until we get around on the hot lap. Let's begin. As you'll notice, I'm extending to the right side of the track as much as possible to generate as much momentum as I can coming to take the green here. All right, so turn one, nothing different here. This is the same turn one as you'd have on the full version of the track or any version of the track. It's a blind corner at the top of a hill. There's some off camber going on as you crest the hill and get to the apex. So as you'll see here, brake zone, you have to be really aggressive on the brakes because you're going up the hill. So you know, your car is going to naturally slow down more than it would typically because you're going up a hill, right? You've got that working against you. But with that being said, though, you still need to really be comfortable with the brakes to give it a lot of initial brake pressure and to sustain peak brake pressure as you get through that initial entry and get closer to the apex. So coming up to the lift point, there's really not a marker on the track to help you here. I feel like the other version of COTA might have had a line running across the track that we used. Maybe not. That could be this up here, which is the turn-in point. But either way, though, you got the end of the pit wall right here. You want to be braking just a bit after that, so maybe use that as a point of reference. Hard brake, you can see that peak brake pressure is about 80-ish%, give or take. And immediately start downshifting. So we're in fifth gear, we're down to fourth, down to third, down to second, and then start turning in at this line that runs perpendicular to the racetrack. A common mistake by many here, especially when they're not comfortable with the car or the track, is they start turning in way, way, way too early and they try to straight line shortcut turn one. And if you do that, you're going to have no angle as you crest the apex, and the track is going to want to dump you off to the right and out of the track limits. So you really want to extend this turn-in point as much as possible, and using this line is a good marker to help you understand when you need to start turning off the curb and into turn one. So down to second gear, down to first right there, still sustaining a ton of brake, way away from the curb, and then almost stopping the car. Big bout of a left lock, almost hand over hand. I mean, that's, gosh, 140, 50 degrees there of wheel. So that's pretty crazy. Definitely want to run a quicker steering pinion this week. I believe we're shipping the setup with a 287, but if you ran a 315, it certainly wouldn't hurt my feelings. Anything less than that, anything slower than that, and you're probably not going to be able to get that wheel rotated enough to make corners. It might be a bit easier if you're running on an F1 rim or a GT style rim. I am not. I am old school, so I've got a big round wheel. So because of that, I need just about the quickest steering pinion I can get to be able to make these hairpins. So cresting the corner at about 40 miles an hour and starting to throttle up as I get past the center of the corner here. And then, like I said before, your off camber as you get off of turn one. So if you get out too wide, the car really just wants to come off to the right here. And if you touch any part of the screen, you're going to get a 1X and invalidate the lap if it's qualifying. If it's in a race and you rack up 1Xs, not the end of the world, but not great for safety rating and could potentially cause a penalty, black flag at some point. I'll get it eventually. All right, so coming off of turn one here, let's get back up to speed. Turn one. lots of partial throttle. Second gear, short shift into third, and really widen out um, this entry as much as possible in the turn two, because it's really going to start to narrow up as you exit turn two and then get to three, four, and five, which are the S's. So lots of partial throttle, third gear. Use this inside curb. And right here, usually I'll short shift to fourth to minimize some wheel spin right there. I'm not going all the way back over to the right because I'm carrying so much speed through two. I just really can't get the car over there in time to be able to make turn three. You could probably lessen your speed here so that you position the car more to the right to be able to help with your first left. But I don't really find that helps with the lap time. So I believe in this method, but to each their own. See what works for you, obviously. But fourth gear right here. And then this is just all rhythm right here. So lift and a little bit of brake, get as close to that turtle as possible without hitting it. There's going to be a downshift to third right there in between the first two S's. Back to the right, little brake, back to the left. You're just slinging the thing through here. Third gear, third gear, third gear. You cannot touch this red with any part of your car, even though I'm about as close as you can get there. If I was any farther over to the right, I would pick up a 1X. The only part of this interior that you can use is on the rubbered in portion of the red. Track limits absolutely suck here. When you watch the real life cup race in a week or two, you're going to see they'll be running all over the place. I don't even know if they have turtles. I think they do in the S's. But anyway, especially as we get into this, as I'd like to call it, parking lot section of the track here, which is the west section, the new part for us this year. It's just so easy to get a 1X or get a slowdown. So just really get familiarized with those track limits before you roll off for a race. Okay, so third gear through here. And then instead of continuing to the right like we typically would on the Grand Prix circuit, now we're going to make a sharp left down to second gear. Again, right here, you cannot use this inner red portion, only the rubbered in portion. So second gear, partial throttle, and right here, big dip right there, as you can see. Full speed, bang. Very, very easy to land and lock up the left front. Also very easy to misjudge this, get too far to the right, and pick up a slowdown or a 1X. So you can use some of this red, you cannot use a lot of this red. There is no marker to delineate where you can and where you can't. You're just going to have to feel it out. If you're in a race and you're not going for absolute outright lap time every thousandth of a second you can get, if you're just running a pace, I would err on the side of caution and stay farther to the left. But the more you can get over to the right, the better you can execute this left-hander that dumps back onto the backstretch. So, yeah, really difficult. Really, really difficult section. Very easy to lose time through here. Very difficult to make time. Second gear. All second gear right there. You can use this inner red portion a bit, but you cannot use too much. Just like everything else that we've talked about. Just have to feel it out. Do not want to overshoot the entry speed to this corner right here, which is 9. This should be 9. That's 8 back there, I think. So 9. You don't want to overshoot the entry speed because then you won't be able to rotate, pivot, and turn to get throttle back down and commit to that as you enter the backstretch. So just need lots of angle, lots of thinking ahead, and just cannot overshoot entry points. Up to third. And braking on the curb. You want to straddle this curb as much as possible, get as far over to the right as possible, similar to the entry into turn 17, so the final corner. Braking on this curb from third gear to second gear, about 75% max brake pressure down to first gear. And as we've seen in years past, it is very easy to overshoot this corner, get too far wide, and just not be able to clip the apex. And when you do that, you cannot commit to throttle, you cannot roll speed, and you end up getting a 1X over here. Similar to turn 1, where you're kind of, feels like you're off camber, but just a really strange corner. Very, very hard to execute properly. Throttle, throttle, first gear. Short shift to second, back to the left. And lots of brake. Just slowly ease the thing through here. All second gear. You can use the rubbered in portion. You cannot use the clean portion, but you want to straighten this out as much as possible. Straight, straight, straight. As you get into 12 and 13, down to first, clip that inside curb. Back out to the right, first gear, second gear, up to third in 14, 15. Just be patient with it. Patient, patient. You want to enter pretty low. Let it roll up in the center as you introduce throttle. And just partial throttle, partial throttle. Keep it to the right to set up for turn 16. Use some curb down to second. Cut it. You can cut a little bit of this inside. You cannot use too much, or else that'll be a slowdown. If you touch this green, you'll get a 1x, so probably have to back down your speed a little bit through 15, 16 here, so you don't overshoot. In real life, you'll see them go way out to the right. We can't do that. And then as soon as the curb starts for 17, heavy, heavy brake. Down to second gear. Use a lot of this inside curb, straighten it out, and put the power down to come up onto the front stretch and complete your lap. Let's go ahead and back this back up. We'll go through here once at speed, then we'll go inside the car. Heavy brake right after the pit wall. Third, second, first. Slow, slow. Introduce throttle. Watch the wheels spin. Short shift to second. There. To third. There. Inside curb with partial throttle to the center of the track. Fourth gear. There. Brake a little bit. Third between the first two S's. Swing it to the right. Swing it to the left. Back to the right. And then set up for hard left. Second gear. Rubbered in portion. Straighten it out. Straight, straight, straight. Brake, brake. Second. Onto the back stretch. Straddle the curb up to third. And brake right after that white mark. Just clip that inside. First gear, second. All second gear through here. Get it nice and straightened out. Don't slide those rears. Straight, straight. And brake straight. Down to first. Out to the right. Back to the left. Use the exit curb. First gear, second gear, third gear. And then slowly walk it through here. Don't rush it. Don't shove the front. Don't slip the rear. Partial throttle, partial throttle. Third gear. Back to the right. Second. Use that inside curb. Hook it up. Watch for the oscillation. Curb starts. Brake, brake. Second. Turn in. Straighten out that exit. Put the power down. Complete the lap. Let's go inside the car. Inside the car. There we go. Third gear. Fourth gear. Up to fifth down the front stretch. Pit wall. Brake. Fourth. Third. Second. First. And turn, 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 turn. Hand over hand. Straighten it out. First gear. Second gear. Third gear. Swing it out. Clip that inside curve. Straighten your exit to fourth. Start spotting your first S. There. Third gear. Second S. There. Third S. There. Fourth S. Get ready to turn hard left. There you go. Flick that wheel. There we go. Straighten it out. Back onto the back stretch. Second gear. Third gear. Brake, brake. Second. First. Turn it in. Don't miss the apex. First. Second. 50% brake, give or take. Don't slide the rear when you initially brake there. Very easy to do. Straighten this one out. Brake straight. First. Goal is to clip the curb right there. Second. And third. Third all the way through here. Don't get too far out to the left or else your corner will be compromised. Second gear in to 16. Approach to 17. Third gear. Curb starts. Boom. Second. Turn in. Lots of wheel. Straighten it out. Hook the rear tires up. Complete your lap. So I'd say it's a fairly deep dive around COTA. Your pit road entrance is right over here. So make sure you practice that at least once before you do a race, because you will be pitting for at least fuel. Probably not tires unless they're falling off more than usual this week, which I don't think they will. But anywho, that's about it. So yeah, nice efficient road course track guide in about 15 minutes. Definitely go back through and watch those segments that you need more help with. But I think that pretty much covers it. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you like this type of content, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow our channel so you know when we make these public throughout the week. Thank you so much for your support of TCSP. We look forward to seeing how COTA goes, and we will see you next time for week 12. Take care.